Greetings summoners and welcome to a new Gaming Academy tutorial. Get ready to embark on a transformative journey through the league with this masterpiece video about climbing in the new Season 14. Before I start, I would like to say that this clip isn't just a video. It's your ticket to diamond dominance. Don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to the channel to be up to date with all my content. Let's jump straight to the explanations and tell you how to develop an unleashed diamond mindset. Understand that success in League isn't just about skill, it's about the passion that fuels your commitment to improvement. We're not just playing, we're evolving. To develop a mindset that separates diamond players from the rest, you must become capable of the following things: strategic thinking, pressure handling and adaptability. And now let's talk about each one separately. Strategic thinking of diamond players develops from the ways they make decisions from the beginning of the game. They don't die for no reason, they don't waste time on the map, they always stay in the game growing and becoming stronger during the game, and they don't deviate from the basic rules of the game, such as roaming, following objectives, helping teammates and other techniques such as split push or forcing teamfights. All these things make a huge difference in the gameplay of a player that helps him take the team to another level compared to the opponents. At the same time, players who have reached the Diamond Division at least once will always have in mind that they can do it again, which gives them much greater self-confidence. You must develop this self-confidence and think that it is easy to reach the diamond, even if you did not succeed in the previous seasons. Let's talk now about pressure handling and what it means. Think that you have been put in many situations in your games to start a fight that you did not want. For example, you are in the 29th minute of the game, while the enemy support is baiting you to go kill him. After several attempts you succumbed to the pressure and were caught in a trap for which you died and your team lost the game. Due to the fact that you didn't keep the pressure of the game under control, you lost, something that probably wouldn't have happened if you hadn't been caught by the enemies trying to kill the support. This is just one example, but there are many. Throughout the match you must play as if everything is under your control and leave no room for error. And now the last one is adaptability. I think it's obvious that you can't learn this quality only from videos and from your own experience with a certain champion. For example, if you are Yasuo's hand and you have 300k points on him, it is clear that you can adapt to many more situations with him than you would with Wei the new champion. But I will talk more about this in the next tip that I will give you. You may be wondering why becoming an OTP, one-trick pony, might just be the key to unlocking your true potential on the Summoner's Rift. Well, it's simple and there are several reasons why you should do this. One-tricking revolves around choosing a single champion and mastering every aspect of their kit. Dive deep into the mechanics, combos, and intricacies to become a true virtuoso. Also, by focusing on a single champion, you cultivate a level of consistency that can be a game changer. Your muscle memory, decision-making, and reflexes become finely tuned, giving you an edge in every match. One-tricking allows you to intimately understand the matchups. You'll learn the ins and outs of facing various champions, turning potential weaknesses into strengths. Paradoxically, the simplicity of one-tricking can enhance your adaptability that we talked before. With extensive experience you can adapt your playstyle to diverse situations, knowing the limits and strengths of your champion. As an OTP you enter the realm of mind games. Predicting your opponent's moves becomes second nature, and you can capitalize on their mistakes with surgical precision. Many high-ranking players attribute their success to one-tricking. Climbing the ranks becomes more attainable when you have an in-depth understanding of your chosen champion's capabilities and limitations. Focusing on a single champion streamlines the learning process. You can quickly absorb advanced techniques, optimal builds, and strategic nuances, accelerating your skill development. One-tricking fosters a unique bond between player and champion. You'll find joy in every victory, learn from defeats, and witness the continuous evolution of your skills. Let's move on to the key moments in the game, namely the laning phase. You must know that success often begins with a solid understanding of the laning phase. Whether you're a newcomer to the game or looking to sharpen your skills, these tips will provide essential insights to help you dominate the early game and set the stage for victory. The laning phase is the opening act of every league match, where champions clash in their respective lanes to secure precious resources and gain an advantage. It typically lasts for the first 10 to 15 minutes, determining the tempo of the game, and in this phase of the game, knowing your champion's strengths and weaknesses against your lane opponent is crucial. Understanding matchups empowers you to exploit your strengths while mitigating your weaknesses, granting you a significant edge. The gold and experience gained from last-hitting minions are the lifeblood of success in League. Mastering the art of last-hitting ensures a steady income, enabling you to purchase crucial items and level up faster than your adversaries. The laning phase is a dance of trades where champions exchange blows to whittle down their opponent's health. Learning when and how to trade efficiently using your abilities wisely can turn the tide in your favor. In this phase vision is power, so place wards strategically to keep tabs on the enemy jungler, preventing surprise attacks. Knowledge of your surroundings enhances your decision-making and contributes to a safer laning experience. Also, don't forget that health and mana are finite resources. Managing them effectively is a key skill. Avoid unnecessary engagements when low on health or mana, and capitalize on your opponent's mistakes when they're in a weakened state. When you want to recall, just don't do it anytime. Knowing when to recall and purchase items is an art. Ensure you back at opportune moments to avoid losing experience and gold, and make informed purchases that suit your champion's needs in the evolving game state. Still, in this phase, communication is the key. What that means? League of Legends is a team game, even in the laning phase. Communicate with your teammates using ping signals, informing them about your intentions, and be open to receiving information. A well-coordinated team is more likely to succeed. The last tip here for this video is to approach the laning phase with confidence and a positive mindset. League of Legends is as much a mental game as it is a mechanical one. A positive attitude can turn the tide of a match and foster a better gaming experience. If we have passed the laning phase in this guide, it is the perfect time to apply a new strategy, such as roaming. Before we learn how and when to roam, we must first understand the fundamentals of what roaming actually is. Roaming in its simplest form is where you rotate or move from one lane to another. Every champion and role can roam, but some will find more success than others. For example, Milio will find it hard to roam, whereas Pyke would thrive. Roaming is usually done during the early to mid stages of the game, especially during the laning phase. This is because the likelihood of gaining a kill or achieving your goal is far more probable, since enemies will be more likely to be in isolation or fewer numbers. You may be wondering why you should roam? For the most part, the main reason for roaming is to help your allies survive and win the laning phase. But there are other reasons that may entice you to roam, such as the potential rewards that come with roaming. Once you've understood what benefits are on the line, you will be more inclined to roam and help out your teammates. In the game, you have to aim to be the MVP, put as much pressure as possible, and make the enemies feel that they have no chance against you. You are probably wondering when to roam? You can roam straight from base. Roaming from your base can bring a surprise element to roaming. As the enemy will not see you leave your lane, they may not expect you to be there. When you roam from lane, the enemy is able to communicate with one another, which can allow the recipient to back off in time before the roam arises. However, roaming from base will irradiate this issue, as the enemy will not know your whereabouts. You also can roam to counter gank a lane. If you notice that the enemy is looking to move towards one lane in particular, you can try and counter their gank. For example, the support could rotate to the mid lane to match the enemy support's roam. Alternatively, if you notice that the enemy jungler is moving through the river in order to gank, you could head towards the lane as well to counter gank them. You can roam when you have your ultimate up. For example, I often play with Scylla's mid lane, and with every R opportunity I go to certain lanes for a possible gank due to the complexity of the champion. But maybe you don't see it when I talk about Scylla's, then think about Malphite. This champion can take a kill with every single R he uses. There are many situations when you can roam, such as when your lane enemy is missing and forces you to go for a counter gank, when you want to go with the jungler for a gank, when your team has the Rs ready, when you know surely they don't have enough vision and the lane is pushed. We will not be able to cover such a complex mechanic as roaming in this video alone, so in my next videos, I will make a special one about the art of roaming, so don't miss the subscribe button, because I come daily with extraordinary content for you. If you apply only what I have said so far, you have already reached Diamond. I want to teach you how to become real players from things that don't belong to the game itself, but to you, and I don't aim to make only 10-minute videos to gather the audience, so follow all the tips I give you, and don't forget to leave a like on this video if you liked it. Let's continue to talk about replays. When you have a match that you lost and in which you had a bad score, don't blame others. It is true that it can be the team's fault in most cases, but there are also cases when you could be better. Always go to the replay when you have time and analyze your mistakes where you died, and always think about what you could have done in that situation. This meditation will improve your gameplay without you realizing it. You will notice many times that you were too pushed in the lane or had no vision, or maybe you could have flashed in time, but you hesitated for a few seconds. I know it may seem silly, but believe me, every high elo and professional player does this. For a long time I could not leave the Diamond division, and looking at my mistakes, I understood what I had to do to become a master, and I succeeded. Any small thing you do to improve yourself will add up with the rest, and they will form a whole, a real League of Legends player. Now pay maximum attention to what I am about to tell you. Guys, you can do all the things I told you and lose the match if you are tilted. When you feel that you do not have the necessary mood to play ranked, or you have lost one or more matches in a row, just stop pressing that play again button. Go make yourself a coffee, open a can of juice, watch a video to relax, put on some music or even a movie. Anything will get you out of the tilt state, just don't re-enter the game. The chances are much higher that you will lose because your attention is on the ground due to your condition. I used to be very proud and refused to believe that I was bored and that it was actually my fault that I was losing, which is why I was losing again. But I overcame this condition and surely you can too, it's very simple. There is enough time to climb into the division you want, even a 20-minute break can make the difference. A personal recommendation for all League of Legends players that worked for me is the music and sound in the game. I personally start a mix of music that I feel comfortable with when I play, and at the same time in the game, I keep the sounds of effects and pings activated, but I turn off the game music and the ambient music. I will give you 2 quick examples of why the sound in the game is essential, and even professional players use it. The first example is the sound of the champions and think of the R of Sion. When Sion starts the R, all the players hear the sound even if they don't have a vision of this champion, which makes it obvious that something is going to happen and puts them on guard. The second example is about pings. Why? Many times we are not attentive enough to minimap to see them, but if we are also helped by their sound, it is clear that they attract your attention, especially if there are several consecutive pings. You don't have to do this to reach Diamond, but I wanted to recommend these things because they personally helped me a lot. With that being said, we've covered everything you need to know to reach Diamond next season in the very first weeks of the game. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for even more content because I post very often. I told you guys that I'm here to answer anything, contradict me, ask me for advice, ask me anything, tell me your opinion, I answer everyone and in great detail if necessary. Thank you very much for your attention and see you in the next video. Cheers to your games.